Glorious day. You're probably wondering, wait, what day is this? It's Tuesday, and yes, I'm here doing another 5 minute profound or life truth. And today's 5 minute life truth, of course, it won't be not sitting here stopping it right at 4:59 minutes, 5 minutes. But today's life truth is about breaking the captivity of fear. So I thought just doing these would be a powerful thing for each of us to be reminded of our Father's faithfulness and goodness to us. So I want to consider something David said many years ago in his connection and his relationship with God. And in the King James, it says in Psalm 34:4, basically that I sought the Lord and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears, right? Well, the truth is not that he heard him. The truth here in the Hebrew is it's a word that means to respond. When someone responds to something, you know what that means, right? There's an answer that comes. And this is the truth here. David is declaring he sought the Lord. He didn't seek the psych counselor. He didn't seek the drugs. He didn't seek the latest, what's the latest medical report when I search Google of my fear and what it's going to cause and how it's going to harm my life. What he says is, I sought the Lord and he answered me and delivered me from all my fears. Family, this is an issue today. People are trapped in fear, and we are here to help people break the captivity of fear. Do you know Adam and Eve, before the fall in the garden, before they disobeyed God, as long as they obeyed God, they never had fear in their life. Never. They never had fear in their lives. And I'm telling you, when the fall happened and they listened to the voice of the enemy, that's when fear came in and so many other negative things, or the negative things that we know about in this world. I said once, many years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that in these broadcasts, how that in the Bible, morning, it's good to see you, brother and family, is that in the dictionary, if you look at all the words, there's a much higher percentage of negative related words than positive. Could you imagine if we took all the negative words out, not positive, the negative words out, and all we had was positive words to speak to one another? What a change that would make. That would include breaking the captivity of the enemy. Good morning, morning. It's great to hear you, see you here. Daughter of God, sister, and beloved. All right. So who, what, and how? Well, David, he sought the Lord, and the how, really the result is that he answered me and delivered me from all my fears. Do you know the next verse is vital to this? We take them out of context, but the next verse in the context, those who, in Psalm 34:5, those who look to him are radiant. They have a glow, a light about them. They're radiant, and their faces shall never be ashamed. It is when we break the captivity of fear that we become radiant. Because when you're around people filled with fear, they are not radiant. And I want one other truth for us to look at here. And that is the truth from 2 Timothy 1:7. And then we can keep this in the time frame here. And that is in 2 Timothy 1:7, a verse that many of us know and have repeated probably, or can repeat forwards, backwards. But it says, for God gave us a spirit, in the ESV, not of fear, but of power, love, and here it says self-control. The King James will say of a sound mind. But think about that. When you're in fear, something else is controlling you. Now, whether you believe that spirit of fear is actually a spirit, or it's like that attitude, that prevailing environment where in your mind, you're fearing. We must know and we must realize that God has not given us a spirit of fear. And in the other versions, like the NIV and the NLT, and some of them, they'll say, and timidity. Think of being about timid. Well, I'm really timid. I'm really into myself. I used to really be like that. Well, God has not given us a spirit of fear or timidity, right? He's given us spirit that has to do with boldness and of power and of love, and really this self-discipline, this self-control where the enemy cannot control us. So let's be like David. Let's seek the Lord as he sought him, and he delivered him. He actually answered him and delivered him from all his fears. You can go to a psych for years. You can study everything about there is about fear, but it's only when we give our full heart to God and come to him with a whole heart and his truth, and we cast it all on him, he answers and he will break the captivity of fear in our lives. And this is our 5-minute life truth for today. So God bless you abundantly. You are his treasured child.